The Legatum Prosperity Index is the only global assessment of national prosperity that's based on both wealth and citizen well-being. And what we do is we provide overall prosperity rankings for 110 countries, accounting for over 90% of the world's population. And these overall prosperity rankings are based on the average of that country's scores across 8 different sub-indexes, which are really pillars or foundational aspects of prosperity. And these are the economy, education, entrepreneurship and opportunity, governance, health, social capital, personal freedom, and safety and security. The main reasons for India's 10-point drop this year on the index, well, I would say are twofold. India's biggest decline was in the area of personal freedom. It placed 53rd in terms of freedom of expression and belief, and less than half of the people who were surveyed in India felt that their place of residence, their neighborhood, was a good place for immigrants to live. And only 63% felt that it was a good place for ethnic minorities to live. So that shows really low levels of tolerance in society, and those have dropped since last year. So that's one of the biggest aspects. One of the other reasons that India's scores dropped and that it's been pulled down is its performance in the area of social capital. And what we find in India is very low levels of donation and kind of outward outreach into the society beyond measures of networks like membership, which we actually can include in the index because we don't have global numbers for those. They don't exist on that kind of scale for 110 countries. But the measures that we are able to look at, like donations, activity in charities, are actually very low in India. And we also found that only 2/3 of Indians felt that they had somebody that they could rely on in times of need, which is a very important indicator for social capital and one where they're not performing as well as we'd hoped they would. India performs, interestingly, the best in the area of governance on our governance sub-index. And what we've been talking a lot about at India Forum this year is issues with kind of government services and provisions. But relative to the rest of the world, India is a stable democracy, and it does have high levels of public confidence in its democratic institutions. So it does, even that good governance score is dragged down by its performance on the provision of governance services. So government bureaucratic efficiency, it scores lowly, and it scores lowly in terms of corruption. But overall, on the governance sub-index, it does perform quite well at 41st place. India also does very well in terms of the economy relative to its peers. So it comes in 44th on the economy. Again, stable, good growth, relatively low unemployment at 7.2%. But the interesting thing is that you have also really high levels of optimism in Indian society. So 87% of Indians, for example, had confidence in financial institutions, which is actually the 5th best rating on the entire index. So that's another really important thing to note.